Hello guys, and welcome to the first video of many on the channel. This is my first video on this channel. Anyways, let's get started. We are going to be creating a Discord bot using Java, uh, and we're gonna have to set some things up first. But hopefully, this is episode 1, and hopefully throughout the series, whether you're a beginner or you're advanced, you will understand this tutorial series. So let's get started. First, we're just going to want to go to our browser. So I'm going to open up Opera GX. It might be Chrome for you or Safari. You're going to want to search in IntelliJ, right? It'll bring you to the results page, and you want to find the result that says IntelliJ IDEA, ID by JetBrains, and it should be jetbrains.com /idea. And now it'll bring you to this page, and if you're watching in the far future and you're maybe going, okay, this looks different, just look for the download button. That's literally all you want to do. So click download, and you don't want to click ultimate, because ultimate you have to pay for, or you'll get a 30-day trial. But either way, it's not really worth it. I would suggest getting community. There's no real difference. Just download that, click the download button. I will not do it because I already have it installed. However, just click the download button. Here, you know what, I'll click it, and it'll bring up where you want to save it. Save it into your downloads file, and it will. Then you're just going to want to set it up, so launch that thing that you've just downloaded, and it'll give you instructions on how to set it up. Now, once that is done, you have a couple of choices. You see, the IDE, the thing that I just showed you how to download, is where you write code, and where that code is read and compiled and displayed onto your screen. However, you can pretend it's kind of like a translator, or a translator who doesn't know how to translate, right? So you write your code on a sheet of paper, or let's say you're writing Spanish on a sheet of paper, and then you give that sheet of paper to the person who needs to to the translator who needs to translate it into computer language. So it will go to the JDK or the SDK, but in this case it's the Java Development Kit, and it will, or the Java Runtime Environment, and it will read that. It'll look at the code, and it'll constantly reference that a dictionary that goes from Spanish to I don't know why I chose Spanish. Let's just say English. And the code is in English, or those instructions are in English. However, it needs to translate it into computer language, which is ones and zeros. And so it has a dictionary, which in this case is the JRE, the Java Runtime Environment. And that dictionary is a dictionary that translates from English to computer language. And it's constantly referencing that dictionary. Right now we've downloaded that translator, however we have not downloaded the dictionary in which the translator will use to actually translate. So you want to go to your search engine again, search in JDK, and right here you'll just want to go to Oracle SE. Oh, and if I didn't mention before, we are using Java to code the bot, in case you haven't noticed. So you're just going to want to click on the first one. You'll want to go to oracle.com. Now you could download 15, you could download 11. I usually download 8, but you can download 15 as well. 15 is probably better. So click JDK download, not documentation download. Documentation is useful to download, though. It's where you will reference all of the libraries. It's like your dictionary to learn how to write in Java. So if you ever have any Java syntax questions, you can go there, or you can ask me in the comments. So click on the download for the JDK and scroll down. And depending on what operating system you're on, you're going to want to click the following link. So let's say you're on a PC and you're running Linux, you'll want to download the Linux version. Mac OS, you'll download the Mac OS. I would suggest downloading the installer and the Windows installer as well. You'll click it, and it will ask you to do this, or review and accept the terms of service, and it will probably ask. For me, it doesn't. I'm not sure why. However, when you click download JDK, what will most likely happen is it'll ask you to sign in which case you'll want to create a Oracle account. Oracle is a company that owns Java right now. You're going to want to create an Oracle account, right? And you're going to want to sign in. Once you've created that account, you're just going to want to click download again. However, if you do not want to do that, you can take the alternative steps. So, once you've downloaded IntelliJ and Java JDK, or if you don't want to download JDK, that's fine. You're going to want to go into your IntelliJ. I'm going to open it up. I don't know why it's not. Okay, yep. IntelliJ IDEA. My version is I can't speak. My version is 2020.3, although it doesn't really matter in your case. These are all of my previous projects. What you're going to want to do is click New Project, right? Click New Project at the top, or I believe that when you just start it up, it's gonna say New Project in the center, so you're gonna want to click that. Now you will be brought to this New Projects page, in which case you'll have a multiple options: Java, Maven, Gradle. Now, if we wanted to do pure Java, we'd click this Java thing. But we do not, because we want Maven to manage our project. So we're just gonna go to Maven, right? And we are going to go here. And remember when I said if you didn't want to create an Oracle account and download it, you could, although it's not as efficient. You could download it from here. So you would go to Project SDK, and you would want to click Download JDK, and then you would choose your vendor or your which JDK. I would suggest the Oracle's Open JDK, but it will only work with the latest version. And then you're just going to want to download it, and it'll automatically hook up. Now, this is the library, which, yeah. So, yeah, we're going to use Maven. Make sure you're on this Maven tab. Remember that. And then you can press Next. And then you want to type in your bot name. So, tutorial bot, in my case. And now you're just going to want to press Finish. And now it'll bring you to this page, and I will... Alright, so we are brought to this page. And actually, I am going to close out of this project and go into my foul Discord bot, because I created a Discord bot before, and we are going to want to paste a piece of code, which I will put into the description. I'll create a paste bin, and that paste bin will be in the link in the description, and then I will then you guys can copy it down. But just go to the link in the description, or maybe if I pasted it directly in the description, you can take it from there. Just copy and paste it. You just want to do Command A and then delete, and then you're just going to want to paste in the code that I put in below. And once that's pasted, you're going to want to click this reload button right here. Right here on the top right, it says load Maven changes. So this is going to reload the project. And now that it's reloaded, you're going to want to open up your tutorial bot. Now, you might be wondering, where did I find this? Well, right here on the left is your package explorer. This is kind of like the overview of all of the files you have. And your first file is the one you're going to want to open. The second file is libraries, and the third one is etc. Anyways, now the first file, you just want to click the arrow or double click it. I'm speaking too quickly. Anyways, open it. And you're going to don't click the pom.xml. Actually, sorry, click the pom.xml. You don't have to click the IML file. The XML, pom.xml, and you're going to want to paste in the code that I have links below. And then, where are we going to be writing our code? Well, it sure as hell won't be here. What we're going to want to do is go into our project once again, and look at our hierarchy. That's kind of like the level in which case files are and you're going to look at this source folder, or CSRC source, and you're going to want to open it. Then once you've done that, open up the main folder, and within that main folder we have our Java folder. Now this Java folder is where we will write code, but kind of, not exactly. This is where all of the files which will contain our code will be. So in this Java folder, just click it once, highlight it, right click it, and you're going to want to click New Package. Now, technically this isn't required, however, I like doing it. It's considered clean coding. Anyways, I'm just gonna do div dot no, don't put capitals. The channel dot, and then the name of our project, tutorial bots. Now, how this works is normally so let's say you have a website. Let's say you are Google, and you want to type in your package name. Well, your website would be google.com. However, it is practice that we do com.google and do it in reverse. However, In this case, if you don't have maybe you do have a website, you'll put that in. But in my case, I don't. In which case, I put dev dot my name and then dot the name of um, the project. So once you've done that, press enter. Now it will bring up this new package, this new folder, which you'll see inside of the Java folder, and you will notice that there's an arrow here because we can open this folder up now because there's contents. Now we can create new Java class, and I'm just going to call this launcher. Now, technically the following code isn't required, however, the way I'm doing it will require it. Don't worry if your brackets are in a different position. I do know that for some people it's like that. However, I got used to C#, in which case they put it like this. Anyways, let's start this off by creating a... Okay, well, first of all, you'll see that this thing's already here. Second of all, my chair is squeaking. Third of all, let's actually create the main method. So, public static void main, string args. And for those of you who already know Java, you'll know what this is. But for those of you who don't, remember to Java is case sensitive, in which case you have to type everything out correctly, no misspellings, and no miscapitalizations. So public static void main string args as your parameters, and then your body or your brackets. This is where all of your code will begin, right? When you run your code, so your code's is like a set of instructions, and there's multiple pages. There's multiple pages of instructions because your instructions are long. However, how does the computer know where to start? How does the computer know what is the first page? Well, this is what this public static void main does. This is technically where the computer will always start reading your code. This is the first page, basically. So, what we're going to want to actually, we'll have to set up another class first. So let's create new Java class, and we'll type in bot. Oh, and let me just explain the naming convention. We've done the packages all lowercase. Classes are all uppercase. Classes are they're basically text files, but meant for Java. That's basically what they are. This first line of code is telling us which package it belongs to. And right now, it's inside of the dev.channel.tutorial bot, and so it'll say that right here as well. Anyways, inside of this bot class, sorry, my throat's hurting a little. Inside of our bot class, we are going to want to do. Sorry, I am just referring to my second monitor right here. Well, we're going to want to implement runnable because now this isn't required. However, I would highly suggest you do it. So, oh, and keep in mind, if you have any errors, it'll tell you because the lettering will show up red and in the right here. See how this is yellow? This is yellow when it has a suggestion saying that this won't cause an error. However, it is a warning, like something that you don't really want. That is because we're not using this. But anyways, a warning is it'll show up red instead of yellow right here, and the text will be red. So we want to implement runnable. Implements runnable. Now, what does implementing runnable do? Well, oh, and an example of it being red, here you go. It's underlined red. Implement runnable means it's kind of like, how do I say this in like English for people who don't know Java? It's kind of like saying, okay, I'm gonna use this set of books to refer to this set of components. That's kind of what it is. Not the best explanation, but it's the best I could come up with on the spot. Now let's actually set up our classes first. So I'm going to create a new package like we did before and type in display. So remember, it's going to be dev.channel.tutorialbot.display. If you've ever looked at links like browser links, it's kind of similar. It's like saying, all right, let's say it's youtube.com and then slash and then these random letterings. Well, those letterings are keys to certain videos, but it's still under youtube.com. It's just in a specific place in youtube.com. This is basically what this is. We're saying so when you see 3 dots here, each dot means a new folder. So technically this is 3 folders, but it shows it as one in the IDE. It says dev.thechannel.tutorialbot.display. Display is its own folder. So we're just going to hit enter, and then inside of this display folder, we're just going to want to create a Java class display. Now technically this is not required, however I like it because it allows me to know, it lets me know when my game is running more easily, especially when it's in the form of a jar file, and it is not being run through the command prompt. Okay, just gonna give my throat a little bit of a break for like a second. Alright, so let's start this off with creating the display, because that is possibly the easiest but most important thing. So, what we are going to want to do is inside of our display class, we're going to want to create something that's called a constructor. Does string have... Okay, no, it's uppercase. Sorry, I switched to C#, in which case string is lowercase, and in Java it's uppercase. So string. Can't spell. And I will explain this in just a second. Alright, so you'll see a couple of red markings, right? These first red markings are because we have this final keyword. Now, final simply means that it is only set... Okay, let's back up. Each one of these are containers for something. Now, what are they containers for? Well, that is defined when we have this second... Oh, I just had a... Okay. Anyways. These containers are defined right on the second word, or the second, word. In this case, the first one, it's a JFrame. It's a container for something called a JFrame. You can think of this as a window. This is a window, which is also a JFrame. Then we have a private JPanel, which... Do we want a JPanel? Yeah, we'll use a JPanel. Normally I'd recommend a canvas. Actually, I would recommend a canvas. So let's just call this canvas. And call this canvas. Oh, and you'll see that when I typed that in canvas, it actually created this line of code here. This is basically saying, alright, well, we have this object. What is this object? Wait, what is this object? Oh, we are importing a library. We are using a set of books that tells us what this canvas is. And we have a private JFrame basically doing the same thing. When we import the class, we can just hover your mouse over it and click import, or I think it's Alt-Enter as well. I think Alt-Enter also does the trick. Now we have these three other red underlines. Well, we have this final keyword. Final basically means it's we have this container, but we only put anything in it once. And that once is whenever this class when this class is first created. In which case, when this class is first created, we have this thing called a constructor. Now this constructor basically when we first create this page, let's just say a page of instructions. When we first create this page of instructions, it will run any code that's inside of this constructor. And a constructor is created by saying public and then saying the class name. And you can see we have passed in parameters. Now, what are parameters? Well, this is basically saying, alright, well, we have this container of code, and that is called a method or a constructor. However, let's say we want to pass in some more containers, such as variables, so we'll just pass them in through the parameters. It's kind of like saying, alright, here's a sheet of instructions, right? And these instructions tell you to get something. However, you'll need some stuff before you can execute these instructions, so I'm going to give you these additional items. That's kind of what it's doing. So we can do public display string title, and whenever this is called, we'll also have to pass through a string, an int, and another int. A string is simply You do that by quotations, and then you can type in any key, any letter or character you want. Then you have your integer, which is literally just a number. You can think of it as a number. So let's do this. This dot this dot title equals title. This dot width equals width. This dot height equals height. Right? And now you'll be wondering, okay, we're saying title is equal to title, width is equal to width, height is equal to height. What does that mean? Well, you can see that in the parameters, these containers, these variables are different from these variables right here at the top. They are two separate things, however they have the same name. Only reason why we're able to put them as the same name is because this is a local scope, in which case nobody but the code that's inside of this container will be able to access it, while this is global scope, in which case anybody inside this class can access it. Now normally we could access it from other classes, however we've put this private access modifier, this private keyword that says, alright, nobody else can see this but this class. So what does this do? Well, this dot equals title. This, whenever you say this, it's referring to whatever is in the class. So this title, so the title within this class, this variable within this class, is going to be equal to title, in which case the title is referring to this. And and you can actually hold down Control and click on the variable to see which variable it's actually being referred to. So once you've got that done, you can simply type in the following code, which is private void create display. This is called a method. Sorry. Oh, and by the way, if you know how to code in Java, you can skip this, but I wouldn't suggest it. Alright, so what have I done here? Well, what have we done here? Actually, before I get to that, right in our constructor, we'll just call create display. So we are creating the display once. Okay, so what is happening? We have written a lot of code. Well, within this constructor, which is only called when the class is created, or when this object is created, it will call create display, which is a method. Now this method, let's read it like English. Can it be accessed from anywhere? Can this be accessed by outside classes? No, it cannot. It's private. Private. What kind of container is it? Well, it is a void, in which case it's a set of instructions that will not return anything back to you. Now, what is this private container that cannot, or set of instructions that cannot be accessed from anywhere called? It's called create display. Why? Because it's creating a display. Are we passing in any parameters? No, we are not. Okay, Now moving on to the actual code, we have created two objects, a JFrame and a canvas. All right. First, we're saying frame equals new JFrame. Okay, we know we have this frame, but we don't know what it's equal to. So we just said yes, this frame is equal to a new JFrame. And on the top bar, it'll say the title. Then frame.set size, just gonna set the size to width height. When it closes, what will happen? It'll exit on close. Can you resize it? No, we cannot. Where is it located? Well, null is located nowhere, so it's going to be right in the center of our screen. Is it visible? Yes, it is. Now we're creating a new canvas, which is where things are drawn. Now, actually, this isn't. We don't even fucking need this. I don't even know why we have this here. I'll keep it there because that way you can actually add things onto the screen in case you wanted to. I have been talking way too much. Canvas, set the preferred size to the width and the height, the maximum and then the minimum to the width and the height, and then it's not going to be focused on when we run the program. And we're going to add this newly created canvas to our frame, and we're going to pack the frame. Now this canvas will not do anything unless we add things to it, and in this series we will not add anything to it, simply because there is no need to, but I have added it here in case you do. So now that we've done that, it's gonna give us that because we're gonna do this. So okay, remember we have created these two variables and we're setting them to private, which means they can't be accessed from outside this class. But we are going to. So how are we gonna do that? With getters and setters. In which case we'll do public JFrame get frame public canvas get canvas. We're gonna return frame return canvas. Now we can access these objects from within this class, so we're simply going to create getters that get that object, right? And then we're going to set these getters to public. So this is what this is basically doing, is saying, alright, we're creating a new object called JFrame. It's going to be called getJFrame because it's going to be equal to this frame. However, this variable isn't just a variable, it's actually going to return something so that we can treat it as a variable outside of this class. So we're going to get the frame and the canvas. So now once we've done that, we are completely done with the display class and we can move on to this class. Now you'll see this red underlined it. This has a red underline. Just hover your mouse over it or press Alt Shift Enter. It'll bring this window up. It'll say select methods to implement. We can just click yes. Okay, so this method is simply there because it has to be there if we're going to use this library. So we're just going to, this run method is run every single tick. So let's just go into this. Okay, so let's start by creating our first objects. I'm not going to explain everything anymore. Sorry, my voice is kind of messed up after talking that much. Now this is pretty much doing the exact same thing that we did in the other method. The only difference is that these two modifiers. Thread is basically like, no, it's hard to explain if you're a beginner, so I'm not gonna even explain it. You can research that yourself. Boolean is basically just a container that can only store true or false. And this is gonna be called running. Why is it called running? Because that's exactly what it's gonna represent, whether the program is running or not. Now this is going to be underlined red for a while until we add that thing in. Alright, so what have we done? Well, we've created the objects, like I just mentioned. We've created a constructor, and we're creating an initialize method, which will be run when the program is first booted up, because it's gonna initialize everything. Oh, and we've created this display, as we did before. And the reason why this is red underlined is because it doesn't know what message received is, which is going to be a class which we are going to create in the future. Alright, so what are we doing? Well, in this initialize method, we have created a JDA builder. In these parentheses, I mean these quotation marks, we want to put a string, our token string. And this just sets up the bot. And let me actually go through how to do this, how to get the token string as a string. We're going to want to go to Discord, Developers Application, and you want to log in. Want to go to Applications. I've already created a bot, but you know what, let's create a new one. Add the name. And then you're going to want to, where's it? Oh, bots right here. No, sorry, that wrong one. God damn it. Oh yeah, you're gonna want to go to bot, add a bot, yes, add a bot. And then, right here where it says click to reveal token, I'm not gonna click to reveal it, but I'm just gonna copy the, press the copy button. Then I'm gonna paste that in here. How do I do this without you seeing? You know what? It doesn't even matter if you see it. I mean, it's doesn't matter. I'm gonna delete the bot anyways. You know what? I'll put it in after the you know what? Here, wait. I'm gonna pause the recording. Alright, so I pasted it in. That's what you're gonna want to do as well. Now let's just do Alright, so we have done that. Now I'm just gonna pause it so that I can check on what the error is. Alright, well, I didn't pause. Okay, hopefully I paused that. Probably didn't, don't care, gonna delete this. Import this. Import. We'll have deleted it now. Inside this events, we're gonna create a new package. This package is gonna be called listeners. Right click, new Java class, message received. Alright, how long is this fucking recording? 40 minutes. Shit. Could have been doing something good. Anyways, you've already seen my key, whatever. Don't care. Import class. I'm gonna disable the bot anyways. What? No wonder. There we go. I'm not sure, where did I call start? Oh, I remember. Okay, let's go back to our launcher. Let's create a new class called bots. Call bot equals to a new bots. We'll pass in some parameters. We'll pass in the title. We'll pass in the width and the height. I'm just gonna set it to 400, 400. Just gonna do bot dot start. Go back here. It's gonna give us some errors because we haven't created these yet. So let's just go to the event listener, in which case we want to do extends listen or adapter, and then we want to do private final message received. Call this message received. Public event listener. Pass in the message received. Do what we did before. Add the override, meaning that it's required by this library. So I spelled received wrong because I'm a moron. Okay, now I'm doubting myself. Shit. Well, okay, wait. Okay, yeah, I spelled it wrong. Gonna want to do that. And honestly, you probably don't care about what I've been doing for the past 40 minutes. But now you're going to want to care, because this is where the Discord stuff comes in. So what have we done? Well, we have created this onMessageReceived. This method will be called every single time a message is sent anywhere within the server. And if the author is by a bot, it's gonna return. It's gonna do nothing. It's gonna skip any code that's below this return statement. Alright, so then we're going to do message received dot set message, which we haven't added in yet. We haven't added that in yet. So, yeah, let's add that in. Creating a boolean. Now I know this isn't good coding practice, but whatever. Fuck it. Do we even need that? Oh yeah, we should. You know what, fuck that. Let's delete that. We'll just do... Remember, we're creating that method that we, that we referenced before. Sorry. Whoops. just so that it doesn't confuse you. There you go. Alright, so what is this gonna do? Well, um, this tick method will run every tick, and um, basically when it's first booted up, it'll, go online, and then the first time somebody says something anywhere on the server, um, and the bot's booted up, it will say, "I'm ready." And that is literally all we're gonna be doing. Um, we have set up our bot, and it is fully functional. If we go over to our bot class, you will see. Oh, and by the way, this key won't work. I'm gonna change the key. Each episode I'll have a different key. That way you can't fucking DDoS me. Anyways, fuck you if you try. Anyways, we're done. Let's add in one command though. Which is if e.get message dot get content raw dot starts dot equals hello, then we are simply going to do e.get channel dot send message hello. We're gonna queue that. So every time we want to check if somebody says something, we're just gonna want to type in if. So if the raw content of a message equals to hello, then the bot is simply gonna say hello back, and it's gonna queue it, which just means it's gonna send it. If you don't put this queue here, then it won't work. And of course you can. This is actually may not be a series. We have set up our bot. I don't know. This depends on if anybody even watches this video. However, if you are watching this and I wind up not making the rest, you can look at all of the things you can do in this list. So let's say you want to see if it contains hello, because this basically is saying what if the person says hello, right? Then it will send the message. But what if the person says, "Yo, what's up? Hello." It won't detect it because the message is not equal to hello. However, contains means, well, it contains as long as they say they say hello anywhere inside of it, even if it says hello, as long as it has hello, HELLO, in that specific order, then it will execute the code below. That's the same with starts with. It's literally just English. So feel free to play around with the bot, and see you next time, maybe. In the meantime, I'm going to fucking delete this bot. Delete the... Yeah. Alright, bye.